Chabad of Georgia State, yeah. I guess so. I started coming up to these lunch and learns and asking the rabbi more and more about Matisyahu. And then I finally realized that Matisyahu is just a channel or a way for me to be involved in this greater project of Chabad. It was like a way for me to come and ask. So finally I started showing up for the right reasons. I started showing up to really be more inquisitive about the Torah portion and to find out about what the rabbi had to say on these lunch and learns. And so I decided I gotta get involved with this project. I can't just start showing up to lunch and learns. And I started taking charge a little bit here and there. I became vice president my junior year and president my senior year. So as much effort and as much investment that you want to put into going out and having fun and partying and doing it up, you start seeing, whoa, I have this much energy in my energy bank and I can use that energy for godly purposes also. Yeah, I can still go, you know, do something here or there, but I can also take that energy and invest it into studying more or doing an extra mitzvah or doing a good deed for another fellow. If you look at it, hip-hop for the last 20 years has glorified a service of idol worship almost, in terms of money being the most important thing, or it's glorified a service of, you know, stealing or murdering or killing people or, you know, cheating on people's wives and making it such a thing that you are not following the aspects of morality. And therefore, why are these rappers on stage glorifying things that are making the world a more difficult place, not a better place? But then, if you really think about it for just a second, and you look at what someone like Prodezer or what Nesson is doing, and you see that they can take a beat, and they can take lyrics, and they can make it poetic to spread a true, genuine message, it's really like flipping the whole aspect of the klipa, of the negativity that's stuck in there and stuck in the music, and making it a lot more positive. So think about it just for a second. If you have rappers who start talking about the 7 Noahide laws and who start talking about representing Hashem's glory, not servicing idols, making sure that you don't use God's name in vain, making sure that you're not talking about murder, that you're not talking about stealing, and rather teach people how to not steal, how to not murder, how to establish a court system of judges, and how to be able to not be cruel to animals. And that can be glorified and made real in a song that a lot of people can connect to because of the internal aspect of the song, the beat and the music that's in there. And then you can have people bumping their heads to something that's positive.
Whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa. They tell me that I cannot be free. I must live here in captivity. But I still remember how it was when we were slaves in Mitzvah.
I was introduced to Chabad a few years ago through actually Hillel at Georgia State. I wasn't going to Georgia State at the time, but Rabbi Shlomo Elkan was doing Shabbos dinners at his apartment in Tocco Hills, and I was brought along by a friend of mine who went to Georgia State, and just the way he conducted everything, I've never been to a dinner like that with so much character and passion toward Judaism. And so I went to private, like Jewish school, Davis Academy, for 9 years, but I was never really interested in Judaism. They couldn't really teach it to me in a way that spoke to me and my lifestyle, I guess. It was always just something that was forced down my throat, like, this is what you have to do, this is what we've been doing for, you know, how many thousands of years. And Rabbi Elkan, just all the students there, really helped show me that there are other ways to conduct yourself in Judaism, to really become connected and to incorporate it into things you do in your life. Shlomo Elkan and Yana really roped me into the Chabad position of vice president. You know, Yana rides me pretty hard to get my work done. I slack off sometimes. We just did a concert at the Apache Cafe downtown with two rappers we brought in, Nuss and Zan and Ruben Formy, aka Pro Desert Beats. I think the rest of us had a really good time. I performed a couple of songs up there as well. I know some Chabadniks brought the Sukkah Mobile over. We're all shaking Lulav and Esrog. You know, they say, Mensch tracht to God's lacht. Man plans, God laughs. My plans aren't all my own, so we'll just have to see what happens when we get there.
So here
at the Chabad at Emory, where we've been for the last 10 years, we endeavor to reach out to students from all the metro area. Obviously, since being closer to Emory, the bulk of what we do is with Emory students, but we're trying to give them a meaningful Jewish experience which they may have not had before. To that as our mission statement is not necessarily to make them religious, but show them the richness and depth of Judaism that many of them unfortunately didn't get a chance to see while whatever Jewish schooling had up until this point. You know, one of the mottos of Chabad on campus is a home away from home, and it's not just a motto. When students come over and they feel like they're part of a family and the little kids running around and screaming and singing and participating, I think for a lot of people that's more important than what the rabbi says as Torah or the food. It's just that warmth and that home that they don't get to experience while at Emory or at any school. When you're away from home, yeah, they're having a lot of fun, but they still crave that homey, intimate environment, which they get their fix by coming here. In addition, we have all the holidays. Around all the holidays, we make sure to have all the services and meals that go with it. So really, the sum total of all of our programming is really twofold for students that are trying to keep a traditional lifestyle while being away from home. We're there for them, but the wider community as well, or maybe even more importantly, is engaging students who haven't had the opportunity yet to be engaged, and really this will be the first time they had a positive Jewish experience for them. Other schools with student bodies, for example, when we first started going to UGA, there was no Chabad rabbi there, so I used to drive out to Athens once a week every Monday to give a lunch and learn there. It was about an hour and a half drive each way, and spent the hour there, and that was very meaningful for the students there. Eventually, we got a full-time Chabad there, thank God. And then at Georgia State, I started going actually after the University of Georgia. There were some students there who had requested, since they were involved locally with Chabad in Alpharetta, to start a Chabad student group, and they really, the students at Georgia State, what's unique is that it's from the beginning it was student-driven, really pushing for and requesting and strongly advocating for us to come out there. For about the last 5-6 years, I've been going out there every Thursday for lunch and learns, and doing public menorah lighting there, Hanukkah, and tabling and other programs there to engage the Jewish community. The students have done a fantastic job. It's really, again, unique there because it's really all student driven. They're really motivated, and they've done a tremendous job there. And they just tell me when to show up, and I show up, but really all the heavy lifting is done by students, from getting funding for the programming, to organizing it, to getting the students there, to publicizing it. It's nice to just have to be able to show up sometimes and just everything be in place. But it's a really fantastic program there, and God willing, we'll have full-time Chabad there in the near future as well. Because that's what's needed. Is definitely the need and the desire upon the students, and there's a lack of full-time Jewish presence there. So God willing, soon it'll happen. ya 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 Hayana Hayana Yayana Hayana 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 Yayara Hayaya Yayara Yayaya Hayaya Today, ya 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 ya, hey na, ya da da da, hey na, ya da 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 da, hey na. Today, ya 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 ya, hey na, ya da da da, hey na. Ya da da da, hey na, ya ya ya.